Yes. So good morning, ma'am. Thank you for being here. And if you would just, again, state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
Nicole Goyette, Goyette.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, my name is Nicole Goyette, otherwise known as Nini to a select few. I am Cassandra's aunt and godmother. I am Benjamin and Mason's aunt. I stand here before you today to honor their legacy and let them never to be forgotten. Say their names. Kassandra Ray Sweeney. Who was Cassandra, some people ask. She was the most genuine, loving, sassy, fiercely loyal person I knew. Her laugh could light up the room. I remember the night Cassandra was born. I was there at Concord Hospital, waiting to be one of the first people to meet her. Her childhood was spent playing sports, loving her dogs, and spending quality time with family. I have such fond memories of all the camping trips we took as she was a child. Cassandra's birthday was July 17th, so we spent many trips and summers celebrating her birthday. As she grew up, her love for her family grew, and her passion for helping others also grew. Cassandra was always one to lend a hand, whether it be for watching my dogs while I was on vacation, helping me move into my new home, or spending some one-on-one time with her Nana. Then Cassandra became a wife and a mother to Ben and Mason. I have never seen her so happy. She's thrived in these roles. She loved the holidays and creating memories with the boys. She had 7 Christmas trees and decorated so early that they could all enjoy the holiday season. I am so mad that I don't get to see her and spend more time in this role. It was cut too short, and we were all robbed of the memories to be made. Say their names. Benjamin Michael Sweeney. Oh, this little boy who had the biggest heart and smile could light up the room. Ben was so inquisitive and smart beyond his years. He was excited to go to school and riding the school bus. He would have started 2nd grade this year. His life was cut too short, so he never knew or got to experience any of this. We were robbed of seeing him grow and shine into the star I knew he would have been. Say their names. Mason Lee Sweeney. He only got to experience so little in his short 23 months of life. Boy, did he love his dogs and love to snack and eat. He would light up when he saw his big brother Ben or his mommy. I loved his snuggles and his hugs. I wonder what he would be doing this year, starting kindergarten this year. We will never know because we were robbed of these chances. I miss my 3 angels more than words can define. The loss of them has created havoc in our family that no family should have to endure. I have personally experienced nightmares, insomnia, mental health issues, and missing time from work. My heart skips a beat if a family member doesn't answer the phone, and my mind goes to the worst place that something has happened to them. My 81-year-old mother has never been the same since the day her 3 grandchildren were taken from her. Her health and cognition have significantly declined due to this trauma we have endured. My family will never get the chance to celebrate another birthday, another holiday, or another milestone of the boys. We will never receive another phone call, another text message, or I love you from Cassandra. I will never get to exchange recipes or cooking tips with Cassandra. We will never be able to share our love again of new cleaning products. I will never get another video of the boys finding the joy and simple day-to-day pleasures of this life. This is all gone, and we can never get it again. August 3rd, 2022. Time will always be divided into before the incident and after the incident. Incident, death, passing. No, it was a horrible murder of my 3 loved ones. And Eric, you are all to blame for this. I play that day out in my mind all the time. It was a normal Wednesday. I had gone to work. I was packed and getting ready to head away for the weekend with friends. I even remember the last video I received of the boys looking outside at the hedgehogs. Late that afternoon, as my phone started exploding with calls and texts, Cassandra couldn't be reached and wasn't responding to calls and texts, which was not like her. The news reported a triple homicide in Northfield, New Hampshire. This is where they lived. Reporting it was on her road. Reporting it was a woman and 2 juveniles. It didn't make any sense at the time. My head was spinning, and I can't tell you the size of the pit I had in my stomach. But it was all going to be okay because things like this didn't happen to my family. But this day it did, and it would never be the same. I had hopped into my car, racing up Interstate 93 to Northfield. I was determined to get answers to go see them and get to the bottom of this. I was racing down the highway when my phone rang at exit 17, and I received the call that no one should ever have to receive. Gone. All 3 of them were gone. And just like that, my heart shattered into a million little pieces. Eric, I don't have a lot of things to say to you because you aren't worth my time and energy. You are a heartless, sociopathic coward who doesn't deserve to be here, but somehow you are. I can't believe at one time in my life you were allowed to call me Nini. That was an honor you received. I take that back. You are never allowed room in my heart to call me that. That is an honor that I reserve for people that I love and care about, not for a person who I despise and only hope the worst for. I can only hope that the judge hears our words and agrees with us that you need to be locked up for as long as allows. Kassandra Ray Sweeney, Benjamin Michael Sweeney, and Mason Sweeney, I will love you all forever and a day, and I will never stop fighting for justice for you, and I will always say your name so no one forgets you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Goyette.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Chantal Labrie. She's an aunt to Cassandra and a great aunt to Ben and Mason.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi.
Chantal Labrie, Labrie. If there's any greater pain than losing someone you love to a homicide, I surely can't imagine what that is. But that's what happened to my family on August 3rd, 2022. Cassandra, Ben, and Mason were all taken from us that day. They didn't pass away. It wasn't an illness or an accident. They were taken from us. For 3 years now, we've been desperately grasping to our memories of Cass and the boys. It's all we have, and let me tell you, it's not nearly enough. No sentence that Eric serves will ever be enough. We will always be left with 3 holes that cannot be filled again. My best memories of Cassandra go back to when she was a little girl. There were cousin sleepovers with my 2 girls, camping trips, family outings, birthday parties, and holidays. For several years, it was a tradition to take a family trip up to Santa's village for Cass's birthday. We would stop at the Flume for a picnic and cupcakes before making our way to the park. We would spend the night at the hotel across the street so we could go back again the next day. I have fond memories of watching Cass play softball and of bringing ice cream sandwiches to her and her teammates. I remember how pretty she looked for her high school prom, and I remember watching her high school romance growing into her love story with Sean. She was a beautiful bride, and we were all so happy then. The following year, Ben was born and Cass became a mom. I can't think of anything she treasured more. Ben was a beautiful baby and was growing into a very smart and funny little boy. He loved his mommy and daddy, his nana and his papa, his dinosaurs, and his doggies, Daisy and Moose. A few years later came Mason, and again Cass became a mom. Her life was full. We had Mason for such a short time, but he was a silly and sweet little boy. He sure loved his big brother, and he was the apple of Nana and Papa's eye. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that he's been gone for longer than he was with us. Although I wanted this letter to be about Cass and the boys, I can't conclude without telling Eric how much hatred we feel for him and what he has taken from us. Although no sentence he serves will ever be long enough to satisfy us, to be enough for Cass and Ben and Mason and for the futures they lost, I do get some satisfaction for knowing what life Eric has left will be a miserable one. And when he dies, he will be alone with no one and nothing. You did not break us, Eric Sweeney. You made us stronger as a family. We will all see Cassandra again and the boys up in heaven. May you spend the rest of your eternity in hell.
Thank you, Ms. Labrie.
The next statement is from Kristen Southwick. She is Cassandra's mom and Ben and Mason's grandmother. Our advocate will be reading her letter.
And I'm sorry, the last name again?
Southwick.
Southwick.
My name is Kristen Southwick. I'm Cassandra's mother and Ben and Mason's Nana. Cassandra was my baby girl. No matter how old she became, I will always think of her that way. Cassandra was beautiful inside and out. She was smart, funny, loving, sassy, loyal, and she loved her family fiercely. I am so proud of the woman she became. She was a great mother. She was such a natural. Ben was my first grandchild. He made me a nana. I was there when he was born. I fed him his first bottle. Ben had a smile that would light up any room. He was so warm, so smart, kind, and loving. He had a love for learning. I grieve not knowing who he would become. I know he would have done amazing things. Mason was not yet even 2 when you took him from us. He was sweet and loving. He loved his mom and dad and big brother. Whatever Ben was doing, Ben was there wanting to do it too. He loved to go to the snack drawer when he visited Nana and Papa's house. Sundays were always family day at our home. Katrina and Nick, Cassandra and Sean, Ben, Mason, and Eric always came over bringing along Moose and Daisy. We would all have lunch together and just spend time together. You would often find us in our backyard, all watching the boys play on the many toys they had in our backyard for them. Some days, we would all go to the zoo or lake together. It didn't matter what we did because we were all together. Sometimes if I was having a bad day at work, Cassandra would stop by my work with the boys just to give me a hug and a kiss and say, "I love you." They were the light in my life. I will forever miss my daily texts, pictures, and phone calls from Cassandra. She would tell me what they were all up to, or simply just send a quick message that said, "I love you, Mama." The loss of Cassandra, Ben, and Mason has left an unbearable void. I relive the details of their death daily. I struggle to find joy in anything. We were robbed of our future with them. Cassandra, Ben, and Mason had so much living left to do. There are so many things they will never get to experience or do. You robbed us of all the precious time and memories of them, with them. Eric, your selfish, careless act has had lasting effect on all of our lives. We will continue to forever grieve, have sadness, anger, and trauma, and this all will continue to challenge our mental health. Eric, you are a coward who stood behind a gun. After everything Cassandra and Sean and we did for you, this is how you repay us. We tried to provide you with a family and love you never had. You now have no one. No one who loves you or cares about you. Your own parents didn't even want you. No punishment will ever be long enough for what you took from us. I hope every day in prison is a scare for you. I ask the judge to please, please give you the maximum sentence allowed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Southwick.
Your Honor, next is Peg Sweeney. She is Ben and Mason's great-grandmother.
Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Margaret. I go by Peg. Last name is Sweeney, Sweeeney. Eric, look at me when I'm talking to you. You always did. I had considered you my grandson, even though there's no Sweeney blood running through your veins. Over the year, I showed you much kindness and love. I've taken you to our camps, brought you swimming, and even taught you to fish when you were 5 years old. I loved you as much as my natural grandchildren. I never used the words half or step because you were, in my heart, a full member of the family. I was every bit your gram. We always had good times and mutual love for one another. I enjoyed and looked forward to the times when you would stay with me and Gary, especially when you were struggling at home. You and I had connection. I did not experience your anger and believe that your heart was good. I taught what if lessons would help you make good decisions. I thought I was making a difference. I welcomed you and wanted you to stay at camp with me and Gary, to give you a break and give Sean and Cass a break when you were struggling. I thought that would give you time to regroup, and time with me would help you to understand that you mattered. Eric, to think of what you did to our family. Your half-brother Sean and his wife Cass invited you to live with them in their home with their children so that you could get away from the horrors of the life you were living. They wanted you to have a chance and wanted you to understand how to live life with integrity and morality. They supported you because, like me, they saw you as family. They wanted to give you a better life. They clothed you. They made sure you had nurturing food, gave you your own room, cell phone, and supported your education. They signed you up for boys and girls clubs, they summer programs, and provided you with medical care, including counseling. They offered you consistency in the family and everything that you did not have. They did this out of love. Eric, having so much love for you, I was first shocked and saddened when I learned that in June 2020, at the age of 15, you stole a car and went joyriding at night. The police found you at your school with the car, and apparently you'd left a note to Sean and Cass that said you didn't belong in the Sweeney family, that you loved Big Brother and Sis, and bye. You admitted to lying, stealing, and disobeying house rules. You had hidden many handmade weapons in the house, and all the instances had the opportunity to get help. You were taken to Laconia Hospital for psych evaluation. We all hoped that the hospital would help you to get the help you needed so you could head in a better direction. But the team determined that you needed more psychological support that they could provide and transferred you to Hampstead, where they send the worst of the worst. You had the opportunity to get help, but you lied to them so that they would think that you were all better. They called Sean and made him come and get you. He told them that you were saying what they wanted to hear and that you're still not safe to be discharged. However, they denied Sean's pleas and made him come and get you. I do not understand why all of that Sean and Cass gave you could not accept the rules, even if you thought they were too strict. All you did was fight over normal, everyday rules for a teenager. A short time after leaving Hampstead on August 3rd, 2022, just before 11 a.m., you murdered the people who gave you a home. You killed them all, 2 babies and their beautiful mother and loving wife. You destroyed more than the lives you stole. A part of us all died that day. The suffering is immense. So many families, friends of families, aunts, uncles, cousins, you broke the multitude, and we will never, ever be the same. Your destruction cannot be measured. It is beyond the furthest limits of outer space. You murdered my next generation. You shot 2 children and their mother in the head at close range. Only a monster would do something so horrific. In that moment, I lost my granddaughter. A loving, caring, nurturing woman with great sense of humor who loved life and family to its fullest. She took you in as a member of her family and included you in all the adventures. The boys loved you so much. You murderer. In cold blood, you killed my great-grandsons. Ben was only 4. He would be 7 in 2nd grade now. You murdered Mason, who was about to turn 2, whose birthday party was 2 weeks away. He would be 5 and starting kindergarten. You took the innocent lives of 2 little boys who never did anything to you. Again, they loved their uncle, they played with you, and you murdered them. 2 innocent, happy little children. You committed an evil and cruel act that never gave a reason why. You deceived us and me. After taking 3 lives in our family, you had the audacity to lie about your crime for 3 years while we all suffered the pain of losing them. We hurt inside beyond comprehension. We believed in you and thought you wanted to become a better person. However, you lied your way out of Hampstead Hospital. We knew you weren't ready, but we could not force you to get help. We never thought you would do what you did. You got yourself released, and then just a few weeks later, you did the unthinkable. You murdered my genealogy, the future generations of my family. You no longer deserve to carry the Sweeney name. You are not blood, and you are right. You do not belong in this family. We have one request. Do the right thing and change your last name. And do it and use last name. Don't use any last name of the family. We need to have separation for our healing. You left me with more of a broken heart than you can imagine, especially given the bond that we had. You lied to me. Since the family tragedy, I've had 3 years of tears, and will have many, many, many more. Only I lost my granddaughter and my great-grandsons, but I lost all my affection for you. I no longer have any love for you. You alone destroyed any feelings I had. Now the only feelings I have are hatred, disdain, disappointment, disgust. You deserve to stay in prison until the day you die. I always said that hate was a strong word, but Eric, with what you took from me and my family, the word hate is not strong enough. I hate you to the innermost being. I won't ever visit you, write you, or reach out to you. You will sit in that prison the rest of your life with no visitors. You did this to yourself, and you justifiably deserve what you are in there, that you are in there. I won't even be your Graham again. You can erase Graham from your vocabulary. Most of us will have passed away even before you can even inquire about parole. I hope you never make it out, and I hope you die in prison. I say this to you, eye for eye. It took 3 lives from all of us. You put us all in prison of mourning, crying, and heart aching, in the prison of sorrow for the rest of our lives. When you left that note of 15 years, you said you didn't believe you belonged in our family because it was all lying, stealing, breaking the rules. You said you loved big brother and half sister, and then you said, bye. Why didn't you just kill yourself instead of my family? There's no way I can ever forgive you for your thoughtless, heinous crime. Rotten hell. In closing, Elvis Presley wrote a song, Lord, you gave me a mountain. And it's all about having a mountain that you'll never climb, because it's just not a hill any longer. You took my 3 rays of sunshine. You took my pride and my joys, and you took my reason for living. You took my little baby boys. You gave me an ocean of tears, heartache, and emptiness that will never end.
Thank you, Ms. Sweeney.
And our next is Cassandra Ben and Mason's cousin, Elizabeth Dawson.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Dawson, D-A-W-S-O-N. Your Honor, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of my cousin, Kassandra, and her 2 beautiful little boys, Benjamin and Mason. They were brutally taken from us by the monster sitting before us on August 3rd, 2022. That day began like any other. I'd recently started my first job as a newly graduated RN and was headed off to work early in the morning. The day was busy, and I ended up getting off later than usual, and I remember feeling exhausted and looking forward to getting home to see my husband and our children. As I walked to my car, my mom called, and I could immediately tell that something was wrong. Her tone, usually bright and cheery, was different. She asked if I was home. I told her no, that I had just gotten off work and was walking to my car. She asked me to call her back once I got home, but I insisted that she talk to me. After a long pause, my mom, through a choked voice, delivered the devastating news. Kassandra, Benjamin, and Mason were gone. I remember nervously laughing, praying that she was joking or that I had misheard her or something. I barely managed to choke out, "What? Oh my God, was it a car accident?" There was another pause before my mom told me what had really happened. My cousin and her boys had been murdered by the monster sitting in front of us. The drive home was a blur. I called my husband. My best friend called me, telling me she was going to come get me to take me to be with the rest of my family. And when I finally got home, I stood in the driveway feeling sick and disoriented. I felt like I wasn't in my own body. The following days felt like a nightmare, one where you're stuck in place and everything just keeps moving around me. I kept praying that I would wake up, but I did not. The nightmare was my new reality. They were gone. In the midst of this devastating loss, and while dealing with my own grief, I had to break the news to my children that their Auntie Cass and their cousins had passed away. We called them Auntie and Cousins because that felt right. My younger 3 children were not really old enough to fully understand at the time, but my 2 older children were deeply impacted. My oldest, who was almost 10 at the time, was significantly affected by this loss. She developed crippling anxiety following the news, constantly fearing that something might happen to me, my husband, or other loved ones. Although she's been in counseling and her anxiety symptoms have improved, she still struggles. Watching your child break down and cope with such profound loss is something I would never wish on another parent. The weight of these losses has also taken a toll on my mental health, and I still struggle with anxiety and nightmares. And I want everyone in this room who may not have known Cass, Ben, or Mason the way the family did to understand what has been lost. It feels almost impossible to capture the essence of the people who were such a huge part of my life with mere words, and I don't think I could ever find enough words to express what Cass and her boys meant to me and truly capture how amazing they were. However, I'm going to try to paint a picture of who these 3 beautiful souls were. Kassandra reminded me of myself. We were both second children, and I believe that's why we got along so well. Cass was stubborn, sassy, driven, generous, family-oriented, and above all else, kind. To those who met her, she was outgoing, her personality sparkling and full of life. She had the ability to walk into any room and light it up with her presence and laughter, her heart so big and generous that it seemed to expand to fill any space that she entered. Cass and I worked together for a while at DHHS, and those are some of my fondest memories. She made even the worst days bearable. I remember how excited she was when I got accepted into nursing school, cheering me on every step of the way. Kassandra was more than just my cousin. She was one of my best friends, there for me in every way that mattered. She was the kind of person who would drop everything if someone needed her. Watching her step into motherhood was one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed. The way she held her boys, the pride in her eyes, and the patience in her voice made it clear from the beginning that she was meant to be their mother. Those 2 beautiful boys were the center of her entire world. Benjamin was curious and smart beyond his years. He was always asking questions, eager to learn about the world. Just like his mother, his smile and laugh were infectious, and he radiated joy wherever he went. He loved to sing, be outside, play, make and build things, and just be silly. His favorite things were dinosaurs. He could name them all, and he'd correct you if you were wrong. I can still hear his little voice so confidently rattling off those names, his eyes shining with excitement. Benjamin also was a very proud big brother, and he loved his little baby brother Mason very much. Mason was sweet and full of life. In true second child fashion and taken after his mom, he was adventurous and energetic. He had the sweetest little giggle. This kid loved playing with his big brother, dancing, playing with his trucks, and exploring the world. He was also a huge fan of snacks, and he was obsessed with Baby Shark. The way his face would light up when the song played and the way he'd wiggle and dance is something that I'll never forget. He adored his big brother and wanted to do everything Benjamin did, but he also had his own special joy. Watching the 2 of them together was precious, and receiving pictures and videos from Cass of the 2 of them always brought a smile to my face. Now their laughter and joy are gone. The silence where their voices should be is unbearable. Holidays are especially painful. I think about the Christmas mornings where the boys should be tearing into wrapping paper while Kassandra watches with the biggest smile on her face, having picked out the perfect gifts. I think about birthdays where the family should be celebrating another year of life for the boys and watching them grow up. I think about how Cass was always and would continue to be beaming with pride at even the smallest milestones. Those moments, so ordinary for many, now feel like treasures we've lost forever. Every single day is harder without them. Family gatherings feel empty. No more Kassandra telling stories. No more Benjamin proudly sharing his dinosaur knowledge. No more Mason begging for snacks or dancing to Baby Shark. Ordinary days hurt because something so small, a toy on a store shelf, a favorite song, a place we once visited together, can suddenly break me all over again. Their absence is constant. It never leaves. I've since had 2 more children, and they will never get to know their Auntie Cass or their cousins Ben and Mason. That hurts. I didn't get to share the news with her that I got my position as a labor and delivery nurse, something I know Cass would have been over the moon excited for me about. That hurts. 3 long years of no random text messages, funny pictures and videos, TMIs, phone calls, family trips. That hurts. 3 empty seats at Katrina and Nick's wedding. That hurts. It all hurts. So much has been lost, and my family's lives will never be the same. Your Honor, no sentence will ever balance the scale. Nothing can ever undo what has been done. But when you make your decision, I ask you to remember who they were. Kassandra, a devoted mother with so much love to give. Benjamin, a bright and curious little boy. And Mason, a sweet and joyful child who deserved the chance to grow up. Their lives mattered. Their futures mattered. The loss suffered is immeasurable, and the hole their loss has left in our family can never be filled. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dawson.
The next statement is from Carrie Carr, who's a friend of the family.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Carrie Carr, C-A-R-R. Empathetic, funny, kind, caring, smart, helpful, innocent. Psychopath, murderer, liar, worthless, nothing, guilty. Those are a few differences between that and Kassandra, one of 3 beautiful lives that he so brutally took. The Goyette girls, Nana, Chantel, Kristen, and Nicole, have been in my life forever. Before I was born, they took my mom and I in as family. And I don't remember anything without them, of course. Rebecca, Elizabeth, Katrina, and Kassandra, and I grew up together. Some of my best memories were the Halloween parties at the Southwicks, camping, playing wagon, and school, coming up with the craziest names, the family gatherings and Easter egg hunts, and so many more. Even though Kassandra was the youngest of all of us, she certainly kept up with us. She grew into a bright, bubbly woman and the best mom, a mother that I strongly admired when I had kids of my own. We took our kids to the lake a few times that summer and the summer before, and I'll never forget how much of a natural she was with Ben and Mason. She was one of the first to find out that my second pregnancy was another boy, and she's told me to welcome to boy momhood. Besides being an excellent mother to her boys, she was compassionate and caring to friends and family. In the early summer of 2022, after a traumatic experience of my own, Kassandra was one of the first people to reach out to me and offer comfort and support, despite the personal hell that she was dealing with at home with that. We made plans not to be strangers, to get our boys together more often, but we never got to make that happen because their lives were abruptly and brutally taken from them. He stole their future. He stole Kassandra's chance to raise her boys. He stole Ben and Mason's birthdays, school years, and the chance to be kids and to grow up and be whatever they wanted to be. Now, when I look at my own boys, I often wonder how anyone could commit such a horrid act, and I still can't wrap my head around it. I've watched a family that I love and have loved forever, and my best friends be ripped apart emotionally, financially, socially, and more over the last 3 years. And yet they are strong. They are some of the strongest people that I have ever met. stronger than you, Eric, will ever be. You might have thought you were strong and confident holding a gun. You might have felt confident fabricating your lie. Maybe even at YDC. Possibly even at county. But I bet you won't feel that strong in prison. I bet that's starting to break sitting with your backs turned to us. You will never know true strength. No amount of prison time can rehabilitate committed. 30 years, 50, 90, life. Taking three innocent lives. Prison is meant for rehabilitation, but I question every day if that can be rehabilitated. Eric, you may think that taking a plea deal was the easy way out, but the easy way out would have been ending your own life 3 years ago instead of these 3 beautiful people. May the big, hefty lifers in prison enjoy their time with you, the fresh, new meat.
Thank you, Ms. Carr.
DD.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Katie, and I'm a cousin of Kassandra, Benjamin, and Mason. I was fortunate enough to know and love these sweet souls who were taken from us by Eric Sweeney over 3 years ago. Nothing family received on August days, and they will continue to be loved, missed, and grieved for the rest of our lives. Nothing prepares you for the defeat in your mother's voice when she begs you to not leave the house because something terrible has happened. Weeks, months, and now years, waiting for justice. Waiting while Eric took the time to accept a plea deal. Waiting for him to pay for these horrific crimes. He uprooted and destroyed our family, and he let us suffer in limbo for 1,000. Mother, your sweet, kind, loving soul was a light in our lives when we needed it most. Your presence brought comfort, joy, strength, and your absence is a weight I carry every single day. I love you, I miss you, and I will never forget you. Benjamin, he used to name the colors of Legos on my living room floor before he could even form full sentences. Your snuggles, your giggles, your joyful little light, Those memories stay with me every day. I miss you deeply, and I will love you forever. Though they were taken from us far too soon, their love lives on in us, and we will carry them with us always. Your Honor, I ask you that you impose the maximum sentence possible, because anything less would fail to acknowledge the lives that were taken and the unimaginable pain our family continues to endure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nudd.
Your Honor, next is Nick Turnbull, who would be Cassandra's brother-in-law. I'm sorry, being read by our advocate.
Okay.
Airplanes with Ben and played outside with both boys. They enjoyed going on walks. When they would FaceTime Katrina, they'd always ask to talk to me too. I love those boys with all my heart. I met Kassandra early in too, and for some reason that sassy girl liked me. She would give great advice and just be fun to hang with. I grew up with a sister and was happy to gain another. She was probably the funniest person. Our family too. I will never understand what changed that for you. I will never understand why. This has affected my marriage and us financially. Mom and Dad will never be the same either. Holidays are now sad without them, and no one smiles as bright. I think you deserve for them to lock you up and throw away the key. You took away not one,
I wrote something and I'm just going to read it because I'm really not good at this whole public speaking thing. But as I sat trying to put my thoughts in order, as this day arrived, I was troubled with all the emotions I have been experiencing these past 3 years. I have gone through every stage of grief, disbelief, pleading, anger, and yes, acceptance. In the past few weeks, I have been witness to some of the most horrific things happening in this world today, but also some of the most beautiful. And one thing that has occurred to me is that evil only wins if you let it. I refuse to let the evil of this world consume me. We don't have all the answers as to why things happen the way they do. We will one day. It would be easy to stand here and say hateful things, but that is letting evil win, and I refuse to let him win. I choose to forgive and be the person God wants us all to be, and to shut out the evil that tries to destroy me every day. I have faith that justice will be served in this life and the next. From the cross, Jesus said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." I believe that people guided by evil only know to do evil acts. So I forgive because I will not let evil guide me towards evil acts. I choose to remember the things that make me smile, like Cass with her charismatic smile. It always made me laugh. She was the daughter that I have never been able to get. All boys. Benjamin with his incredible cuddles and always a smile for his grandma. And Mason with his silly giggles and just waiting to see the man that he was going to grow into as well. I will miscast Benjamin and Mason for the rest of my life, but I hold on to hope that they are in a far better place than this one, where evil can't touch them anymore, like that evil there.
Thank you, Ms. Sweeney.
Next is Jeff Sweeney. He's Ben and Mason's great uncle.
Good morning, Mr. Sweeney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Sweeney, S-W-E-E-N-E-Y. I'm here today to speak for not just myself, but on behalf of the entire Sweeney family. It is difficult to find the words to describe the depth of our pain and anger. We are not only grieving the loss of 3 innocent lives, we are grieving what they could have been. 2 of them were children, little ones, who hadn't even had the chance to experience what the world, to dream, to grow, to laugh through the beautiful chaos of life. Their lives were stolen far too soon, and the pain never leaves us. But what cuts even deeper is the fact that this did not have to be dragged out for 3 years. We have been forced to relive this tragedy over and over again. You had the opportunity to take responsibility at the beginning, to plead guilty and give our family even the smallest sliver of peace. But instead, you force us to endure every grueling step of this process. That choice only deepened our wounds and prolonged our suffering. I want to make one thing very clear. You are not part of this family. You may have once shared our last name, but you are not a Sweeney. You do not carry our values of love, our legacy. The name that you disgrace does not belong to you. You lost any right to it the moment you chose to destroy lives. You didn't just take our loved ones, you shattered our family. You left behind pain that words cannot fully express. You took from us not only what we had, but what we could have had. Birthdays, graduations, holidays, futures. I no longer feel sadness when I think of you. I feel anger. And I believe that you should spend the rest of your life behind bars, where you will have no opportunity to harm another soul. I hope every day of your sentence reminds you of what you've done. I hope that you are haunted by the lives you stole, especially those of the children, every single day. Your Honor, let's not forget that Kassandra had to watch her 2 boys be slaughtered before her life was taken. We have to live with this pain forever, and I hope that he does too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney.
The last speaker is Katrina Turnbull, Cass's sister.
Okay, and then after Ms. Turnbull, again, good morning to you, ma'am. We'll take a very short break, then we'll resume with the hearing. But absolutely.
My name is Katrina Turnbull, Turnbull. Hello, I'm Katrina, Kassandra's big sister, and Benjamin and Mason's Aunt Dean. The average man's life expectancy in the United States is 76 years, and women's is 80 years. You took at least 201 years of our angel's life from us. 201. Look at me in the eyes when I speak to you. Are you being a coward? You seem nervous when you aren't in control with a gun in your hand. I remember at just 3 years old, I wished for a sibling more than anything in the world. I originally wanted a brother, but was blessed with a sister. Since the moment I held her at the hospital, we had this bond you can never break. From that day on, I vowed to always protect her, because that's what big sisters do. A sibling is your first best friend, a link to your past, and supposed to be your future. A bond you can't describe. You love their kids like your own. Kassandra was just 25 years old when you selfishly decided to end her life. Kassandra was a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a niece, a granddaughter, a cousin, and a friend. Kassandra was probably the sassiest person I knew with such motherly instincts. She was born to be a mother. She missed out on raising her boys to gentlemen. She missed years and years of her happy marriage. She was married to Sean for 5 years. She missed decorating for every holiday she enjoyed so much. She missed family milestones and birthdays. She missed being my maid of honor at my wedding. She missed helping me decorate my brand new house. And she missed meeting her dog niece, Luna. She missed being wonderful aunt to my future children, and they will be missing knowing her. She will miss doing mother-daughter dances at should have been her son's weddings. She will miss taking her kids to get their driver's license. She will miss being a grandparent. The list goes on and on, what you selfishly took away from her the day you pulled the trigger. Benjamin was just 4 years old when you decided his life wasn't worth living anymore. He took after his parents, forming such personality and great sense of humor. He loved numbers and was obsessed with clocks. He was a kind little boy with such a bright future ahead of him. He would have been an accountant. He's missing out on growing up, teenage years, college, marriage, family, and growing old. He will miss being a cousin to my children. He will miss the simple things like playing on sports teams and going to the prom. Mason was just shy of 2 years when he decided to end his life too. That boy could eat and eat. I think his future was going to be a competitive hot dog eater. He missed out on everything I mentioned above that Ben missed out on. He would have started kindergarten this year. He will miss being an older cousin to my kids. He loved dogs and would have loved Luna too if they got the chance to meet. He would never become potty trained, learn to tie his shoes, fall in love, get his first job, and so much more. These 3 precious lives weren't yours to take. You don't get to make those decisions. This was my family, my best friends. One of Ben's last words to me was, "Dean, you're my best friend. You took half my heart that day. You made a poor father bury his wife and kids, and a mother and father bury their daughter. They don't have a word for parents without kids because that should never happen. One profound thing about death is it never dies, because even though they physically aren't here, their hearts live through mine. Kassandra took you in, offered you a family and a life, and the boys loved you, but you didn't appreciate any of it." August 3rd, 2022 is when my whole life changed. Life as I knew it went up in flames. Imagine scrolling through Facebook at the end of the workday to see a news headline that a mother and 2 sons were found dead on the street your sister lived on. At first I thought, no way, and then time passed and panic started. My mom even asked if anyone knew what the house number was on Facebook. We were both so scared. Sean wouldn't answer the phone and text, and Kassandra wouldn't either. Nanny made the drive to Northfield to find answers. Then Sean called Mom. Mom called me and confirmed my worst nightmare, that they were gone. I don't know to this day how I didn't fall through the apartment floor. The days after that are a blur. He made me give 3 eulogies at a funeral. I couldn't sleep for 10 weeks until I finally got the proper medication. I also needed medication for depression. No, how was I supposed to get out of bed every day after you made the world so cruel? My anxiety was through the roof. I had to go on medication for that too. I believe something bad is going to happen all the time because the worst are already happened. I have PTSD from it, like nightmares, believing my husband and future kids are going to die, because why wouldn't I? Sorry. Shut. You made me not trust the world. You made working and keeping normalcy very hard. You've made keeping personal relationships hard. Cole Swindell is one of my favorite artists, but can never go to another one of his concerts because I cry like a baby to the song, "You Should Be Here Now." You made me lose my best friends. You made me live without a sister and nephews. You ruined my wedding day, not having them there. You've made me watch my parents break into a million pieces. You made me go to therapy. You've caused financial hardship. You made every day hard because there's not a day that goes by that I don't think of them and what you did to them in their own home. How scared they must have been. Kassandra, fear of seeing her children die and knowing she was next. This is something no one ever should have to experience. It is beyond cruel. Your actions on August 3rd, 2022 will affect me every day as long as I live. I just listed some ways you affected me. The list goes on and on. The world was robbed on getting to know Kassandra, Benjamin, and Mason. I couldn't protect my baby sister from you. The world is a darker place without them. Sometimes there's losses that can never be replaced. They live on through my future children. Macy cast for a girl, or a boy named me and Nick can't agree on, but definitely the middle name Benjamin. If we have 2 girls, they will rock the middle name Benny. But enough about us. Eric, let's talk about you. I never understood why you did it. You had a family. You had a home. Look through this room at all the people. Every single one of them. They are here because they loved Cass, Ben, and Mason. Not one of them loves you. Look up. There's no one person here for you. You have no one. No one cares what happens to you or loves you. You are nothing. There's not a punishment significant enough to serve what you did. I honestly wish New Hampshire had the death penalty, because that's what I believe you deserve. I pray every day the judge gives you a sentence as long as humanly possible. You pled guilty, big deal. You lied about it for 3 years. You do not deserve a lenient sentence. You lied, you denied, you killed. You are the most selfish person I've ever met. You are evil. You are a monster. I hope every day in prison is miserable. I hope an inmate makes you scared like you made them scared. I hope your cellmate's name is Bubba and he makes you uncomfortable. Enjoy prison. You know what they do to baby killers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Turnbull. Why don't we take about a 10-minute break, then we'll resume with the hearing.
All rise before.